What's going on, everybody? Let's talk about Bitcoin. I'm not going to spend too much time on this today. Nothing has changed in my big picture view. You can watch previous videos, see what I'm thinking big picture. So I don't see too much reason to focus on that, but we will talk about a couple concepts. So let's get started. Right now, we're just showing the entire range here on a 3-day chart. If we flip this over to log, you'll see that this range changes a lot. Also of note, I have fib levels based on log scale clicked. So the price levels do change. You can see the 0.25 is at around 5,000. If I turn off that log scale, we're at 7,300. So it is a pretty significant difference, a little bit different read on the market. But you can see how if we had an impulse high here and the range low here, we have since ranged in the mid 50% of the larger range. This being the mid-range, this entire area. Most recently, we rejected off of this 75% level again. And you can see we deviated to the top side of it, we deviated to the bottom side of the 25% level, and then we have now rejected this level. The general idea that I'm looking for is that we do come down to visit something like this, maybe not quite this low, but some kind of level like that at some time in the future. It could even hold the 50. It's possible that we don't even move below the 50% level, and I'd be okay with that as well. The main thing is that I need to see some price action unfold in the meantime. Some of the reasons why I feel this way: we had to move up or move down here, that broke out, resulted in an uptrend, which broke down, resulted in a downtrend, which broke out, and ultimately resulted in an uptrend that broke down. So if this is our current uptrend, we've broken down from that, and you can see each of these moves is getting smaller and smaller as we move on, contracting or compressing price action. I expect continued price compression during this move. And the general idea is that we're probably doing something like this, where this is like an A wave, and we've got some kind of A, B, C before a larger C wave. So this would be A, B, C, and then we come back down for one more visit. I also like the 6,400 level a lot. If we turn on the volume profile, I'm not going to be able to get it on, this is an index. I'm not going to be able to grab the volume profile on this index. My apologies for trying. But it's right in here is a major volume level, as well as right in here. So two things of note there. It makes a lot of sense for us to spend more time in this range. You can see we ranged in here, here. We had a lot of price action in there, here, here, all of this. So it makes sense for us to spend more time in this area. And if we do fall, we could potentially range at the top of it before visiting the bottom type move. Low time frame. What's next is a little confusing. It's not exactly clear. I'm going to go ahead and turn off log now. Well, that moves our down or uptrend line. Let's just go ahead and hide this uptrend line. We'll delete that off, and we will redraw it. I missed. So we had an uptrend like this that's been broken. Let's go to the weekly. Excuse me. Let's go to the weekly just real quick here. So that we can mark this level right in here. You can see we rejected here, we rejected here, we rejected here. So this was a significant level, and if we were to maintain this level, that would be pretty bullish. Make that a little thinner so that it's not as in the way. And we'll also go ahead and make it a different color. Let's make it red. If we lose that, why would I make it red? If we lose that, that's bearish. Daily is red. Our momentum is red. Since our move up, we flipped positive, a quick move to the red, but this move here is essentially one move with a positive daily momentum. And then we flipped red in here. To me, that suggests it's probably some kind of A, B, C type wave. And then we flipped to red here with a lot of downward pressure. You can see that this move into the red was not comparable to this one. We went straight sideways after we flipped to red here. Whereas over here, we really came down into the move. And to me, that suggests that we're likely to continue red in this move. And we've already talked about a target down here. And I've also shown you that 9300-ish was a level for me of high volume. Let's just go to this chart real quick. So you can see here, 6400 is the bottom point of control that I talked about. And if we zoom into this piece, Bitfinex says it's 79.54. Zoom out a little further, 93.20. It's the point of control since the 14K high. So 93.20 and 6400 are the levels I talked about that were important to me on volume. And typically I make volume levels dark blue, just how I do it. And we've got our mid-range of the entire move right here at 72.55. So we've got some horizontal levels marked. And we know that daily momentum is red. The question for me becomes, is this still part of a one move down? Are we still in the same move here? Or have we started something new here? And that's not exactly clear right now. If we've started something new, then we've got something like this. We've got an A, B, C, and then we've got a new A, and we'd be in a B, potentially like this, or another move down. If you haven't used the new path tool, it's pretty neat. So we would be in an internal A wave of this B right here. So we could see something like this. And I'm drawing it without regard for time right now. I'm not necessarily suggesting that this move is going to take until November 5th. So if we've completed this move down, then we could see something like this. That's annoying, slow, grinding. It wouldn't be fun. Likely, some alts would continue to bleed out further. specifically alts like XRP, Tron, EOS, some of the older alts that have been showing weakness, they would bleed out quicker than what Bitcoin would during this time. And after completion of this move, I'd be expecting an impulse out. I see this as a very possible scenario. However, it's not my primary. Right now, I would say that my primary is continuation down, where we are more in a single move right here, and we probably test this 9,300 point of control before it bounces. So that could potentially look, if this is one move, we'd call that an A. B would take at least the same amount of time, most likely twice as long, and then continue down again. Something like that. So overall, I'm not very bullish. What would make me wrong? Well, if daily MACD flips back positive, I'm probably wrong. We got close to doing that right here. We had some momentum to the upside through this move, and it was just met with a massive move to the downside yesterday. Lower time frame, I'm watching the 4 hour. You can see that we are pretty strongly negative right now, and I don't really expect to flip that back. We might continue up a little bit, but then I expect it to come down like this. Which on the chart could correlate to something like this. So for me, I continue to watch for opportunities to add to shorts. I am not bullish. I'm not even looking for longs. This light retracement after this move down does not really suggest a lot of strength, but we are at high time frame support. We talked about this level here. So it's hard to open a short right here. There's not really a whole lot of reason to. If you get a chance, say we fall below and we retest that level, that could be a good short opportunity. If we go down even further, you can see that 1 hour is currently red. Up here, we got one blue bar. When we flipped back red, I think we had two blue bars. So when we flipped back red here and closed, this was a great short opportunity. I was asleep. Now I was already short EOS, ETH, and XTZ. But this would have been a great opportunity to open an additional short on Bitcoin. If that were to happen again here, where we do go blue at any point in time, say it does this, and we hit blue right here, and then it flips back to red, that red is your time to short. And that would be watching an hourly chart. If we don't get a 1 hour flip to blue, then the 15-minute is the next one to really watch. And you can see that there's a lot of false flips on this low of a time frame. Personally, I think we may see something like this. Where this is one move, one flat type correction, and then we continue down. So I don't think it'll take too much longer. We may have a little more sideways before continuation down. If we were to overtake this level up here, around 10,800, 10,760, if we were to overtake this and start closing and trading above, and 4-hour flips positive, then my entire theory is probably inaccurate. And that would go for both of the routes we talked about. That would go for the route where we do this for continuation down, and that would go for the route where we just head to 9,300 next. I don't want to close over 10,760, and I don't want to see 4-hour or daily MACD positive. Those are not technical invalidations, they're probable invalidations. Technical invalidations are so high that they're pretty irrelevant. We don't want to be watching those. Now looking at this structure right here, there was a possibility that it was an impulse forming. Excuse me, a correction forming, preparing for an impulse. So you should already know by now the majority of my system is made up of impulse, correction, impulse. Impulse, correction, impulse. So I'm not necessarily out here counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like you see many Elliott waivers do. I believe that it's a much simpler idea than that. It's just impulse, correction, impulse. When you see something that might be a correction, how do you know if it's going to continue out or if it's actually a top and for a reversal? That's tough, and CVD may hold some answers to that. Let's go to the 1 hour. You can't get CVD on TradingView. Any CVD that you see on TradingView is only an estimate. So don't rely on any CVD on TradingView. But I go to Coinalyze, I use the BitMEX contract, and you see that same flat right here. But we did not have any buy pressure at the top, right here. The CVD made a divergence, suggesting that there are no buyers interested here. Open interest. Flat. From here to here, open interest was flat. We're not getting anybody opening new positions at these levels. So when you see that, that suggests that it may not actually be a continuation pattern like you would expect it to be. It could very well be a top. We bounce and fall. Here, we still have no buy volume. Nobody's coming in to buy this move. Everybody that was interested in buying this year, 2020, bought in the last 6 months. And in my opinion, we are now seeing people take their profits from the last 6 months. And we can zoom out to the daily. And you can see that open interest is the total number of positions open. It takes one long and one short to make up, to account for one increment of open interest. You can see we had this uptrend in open interest during the uptrend on the chart. Open interest has since been falling. To me, that suggests that anybody that was longing through here has been closing their positions. We don't have very many new positions opening. And interestingly, today, we're seeing open interest continue to fall. Pretty strong, even though we have a small move up, we're not really moving. We're internal to yesterday's candle, but open interest continues to fall. People are still closing their positions here. Anybody that's still holding spot from down in this area. There was a lot of spot purchases through this entire piece and through here. Anybody that's been opening spot positions could very well be closing those spot positions in here and here. So we could see a form of capitulation taking us lower in this next move based on that. People who are already in positions, in profits, seeing their profits whittle away, or even got in late. They thought this was another opportunity to add to spot, and now they're falling underwater. They have to exit those positions. I don't believe that we're currently at a level where people are interested in opening new spot or long positions, and that's supported based on the activity we're seeing on the open interest as well. If we go down to the 1 hour, you can see that price was rising through this entire move from here to here. Open interest really didn't follow. It was pretty flat. You can even go back to this pivot. And you see it's very flat through here. Likely positions that were short here were closing during this time. So anybody opening longs, you can't tell in the open interest because shorts are closing at the same time, meaning that it's not added to the open interest. On this move down, we're continuing to see closing positions. We're not seeing positions open on the move down. I don't believe that there's any shorts to squeeze to the upside. But I also don't feel like there's a whole lot of longs left either. And we don't have the whole history of open interest here. It's simply not available here. But we were at a significant low on the open interest after this capitulation right here. And right now, we've essentially retraced 50% of that. Even further, we've retraced 61.8% of that. So I don't believe that there's a whole lot of long positions to push out. The positions that might still be open are spot positions. There has not been a lot of inflow of spot holdings into exchanges currently, but we may see that pick up if price does begin falling. All right, guys, I really think that's all I've got. I will shift over to Bitcoin, and from Bitcoin over to a couple other coins. If you have any questions on Bitcoin, just let me know in the comments below. But let's go over and let's actually look at Tezos. You probably saw the chart. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably saw one of my charts of Tezos that I posted a long time ago. So So we had this move down here. And then we started a new move up. And then this was clearly one move, a completed move with something forming behind it. So I suggested we were going to move up out of that move. Let me turn the log off here. Why do I say it's so clear that we had two moves here? We broke the uptrend line. And behind that uptrend, we were making a three-wave correction. So that is an A, B, C, A, B, or 1, 2, however you want to count it. But it's pretty typical when the move is this shallow that it would be an A, B, C of a larger flat. W, X, Y, however you want to count it, because this looks like three waves, A, B, C, which would mean that this would be a Y rather than a C. I don't care. I'm simply looking for three waves of correction. We had an impulse down, a very clear impulse. Let me grab some boxes here. This was obviously an impulse down. Behind an impulse, we expect a correction. Behind a correction, we expect another impulse. And I continue to believe that's what we're forming here. Obviously, it's taking a little longer than this move. We had a pretty strong capitulation right here. So it makes sense that it's taking a little longer. If we flip it over to log scale, you can see that we have a lot more room to move down on log than we do on linear or arithmetic scale. But I do believe that this was our impulse correction, and we have a final impulse going in that will end up somewhere in here. I also like this level here. As a potential buy zone. If you go over to CoinTrader, there is a little more chart history on Tezos there. So you can see this would be a area of interest, really starting from here, going through all of this. And this is already on log. And we're pretty close to this one here, where we had price action already. 1, 2, 3 touches. If this continues down as I expect, I think we could see a massive move up from Tezos. Now, this is an older coin. It was around in 2017. It had a high in 2017. It's not a bad idea to trade some of the newer coins and avoid some of these older coins. However, if you look over at Lind, let's actually pull it up on here. Maybe, if my internet would work. Lind was around in 2017 too. This high was 2018, and it was first listed in December 2017. It managed to break that high. Tezos could very well be doing something like this for the next one run. It could still be down here. What I'm buying, what I'm suggesting buying is something like this right here. For a large move up on Tezos to all-time highs. You can see the similarities in this A, B, C to what I'm showing you here, A, B, C. Now this one's not quite as bullish. Sorry. It's still pretty reasonable overlap here. You can see it came down to this area where you've got an ABC right here, and the B wave is where the C wave terminated. We're a little lower down than that, because that would be right in here, right in this area, and we're lower than that. So it's not necessarily quite as bullish. However, I'm suggesting that it could end up looking like this. And also keep in mind that Tezos high was around 12 bucks. So Tezos came from back here. So when I suggest that it's going to do this, it's really not that crazy because we've been here before. We've been around 12 bucks before. So this is one I really have my eyes on. I'm watching very closely to see what it does as it reaches lower levels. I am still looking for lower levels. I don't believe that we're moving up just yet. I'm remaining in a short, but this bounce was stronger than I expected. That said, I've already told you the 1 hour MACD trick. If 1 hour flips back red, that's a pretty good short on Tezos. And you can see it's already worked a couple times here. Flip to red, move down. Flip to red, move down. Flip to red, move down. If we get another flip, we're looking for another move down. This is not to be used in a range. Once you begin expansion out of a range, you can use these flips for continuation. If 4 hour flips positive, probably won't. I don't expect it to. For 4 hour to flip positive, we'd probably come up here and then come down. And that could be a flat by itself. That could be a flat. It'd be a weird looking flat. I wouldn't love it, but I would still count it. Could be a flat structure like this with an A, B, C, and then come on down. That would give us a 4 hour flip positive. We would see a 4 hour flip negative, and we would short. 4 hour flip negative, 4 hour flip negative, 4 hour flip negative. All gave us short entries. So if we got that again here, we would be shorting down to this support zone and possibly a little lower based on the log scale chart. If we look at something like XRP, it doesn't look pretty at all. It looks terribly bearish. For me, if you're shorting, I would short a lot of these older coins. You can go to, let's go to just a daily chart here and put it on log. We've got one move down, and this could be some kind of A, B, C. And the whole thing's a mess. It's a mess. I have this saved somewhere. This is very clearly one move down here. Could it be where this whole portion is some large ABC? This failed already, right? We're not doing that. Could this be A, B, and we're starting another move down? It could. And that's why I'm suggesting something like XRP might be a good short. Absolutely nasty. EOS looks the same for me. I think I need the EBIT for the next chart on EOS. Not sure why my trading view is taking so long to load. Possibly I have my VPN on, so that's not helping, I'm sure. But EOS looks the same here. We've got one clear move down here. That's complete. Move up. Is complete. This move down on EOS never confirmed completing. So this could be, there's a couple options I see here. This one broke out. So perhaps we have a structure here. Draw a new one before I change it. Perhaps we have a structure here, and we're making a W, X, Y type formation. Where it's a large three-wave correction. This is obviously an ABC. Similar to XTZ, we have an A, B, and we're putting in some kind of C wave. But XTZ managed to show higher highs in this move. This is what XTZ did. EOS showed weakness by failing to do that. Very possible we continue down in strong fashion quite soon. Right now, I don't know if I can get, I don't think I can get volume profile on CoinTrader. Right now we're sitting pretty much at the point of control for the entire chart history of EOS. We're under it. So because there's not much volume beneath us, if we roll back over, it could be pretty quick. It could break the lows. This wasn't a 5 count, obviously. I don't feel bullish on these older coins whatsoever. And I was quite bullish on something like MTA. That didn't work out well for me. I made some money on it, and then I lost some money on it, and I haven't looked back. I'm still net positive, but I'm simply waiting for right now. I don't see any reason to trade this when the chart looks like this. This to me is a move up. That's complete. And we've started a new move down. That's not complete, most likely. So I'll be waiting for bottoms to show up. Very likely would see some kind of rounded bottom where it does something like this and starts uptrending. And that uptrend is what I like to see. That's what I want to buy into. Right now, the trend is obviously down. Very, very clearly down. Lower high, high, lower high, lower high. Are we going to continue down here? Very possible, very likely. So until we break the sequence of lower highs, I'm not too interested in something like MTA, even if that means missing a double up. If I miss a 100% run because I was waiting for confirmation, I'm disappointed, but I don't care. I paid for confirmation. I get a higher likely, a more likely entry by waiting for the trend to turn around than buying into a downtrend. There's going to be a ton of opportunities. I didn't take this trade. I should have. I actually said there were better trades out there to take. But yeah, I mean, it's perfect. This is exactly what these coins are doing right now. And this is not a bad thing. This is a good thing. This is going to give you opportunities to buy later. I don't think this is ready yet. I don't believe the bottom is in. I'm very surprised that SUSHI hasn't broken down yet. But if it can't bounce soon, then it's just going to continue through this level. You can see it's having troubles to break, having troubles breaking this level here, where it failed to close below. I'm not recommending shorting SUSHI. But if you're going to, a retest of this low, of this broken level, would be a good place to do so. SUSHI has already fallen from 12 bucks to 150. Is that a good short? Probably not. It's probably not something that I'm looking to short into. This is something I'm watching for an entry later. Same with, let's go to UniPerp. We have a very clear downtrend. Until these downtrends break, I'm not interested. If we start doing something like this, then I'm interested again. All right, guys, I think that's everything I've got. For now, it's a continue watching type scenario. I still expect more downside, whether it's straight down or if we chop downward over the next few months. I prefer going straight down, which is why we're probably not going to go straight down. Anyway, that's it. If you have any questions, hit me up. Other than that, we'll see you in the next video.